How's it going? Welcome back to another great video with the majestic host, the Savior. Yes, that's right. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the next entry of Yakuza. So this is my Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth game review, and I do hope you enjoy this one. This is based on the early gameplay. Now Yakuza or Like a Dragon has always been the perfect meme game if you ask me. This game is just balls to the walls insane. It's just insanity, and I think a lot of people love it for that. It's got a very Japanese sense of humor, of course, and it is based in Yokohama, where I currently live. But finally, with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, we aren't actually staying in Japan any longer. We're finally moving to a new location. America, America. So yes, this is the first time we are not in Japan, and to me that's pretty cool, and I'm just glad that they're actually finally changing it up. Some people might not like that fact, and you know, they might say it's not a Yakuza or Like a Dragon game if it's not in Japan, but I think this is perfect because they can really poke fun at Western society and culture, and I think if you like a Dragon for its comedy aspects, then you will definitely enjoy that side of things, because they really do point out the flaws within Western culture, and believe me, there are many. So before we get into this Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth review, I do humbly ask that you do consider subscribing. It only takes you 2 seconds of your time. Just go down below and hit subscribe. It's a tiny little button, you know, it's just down there, and it only takes you 2 seconds, but seriously, it means absolutely everything to me, absolutely everything. I put so much work and passion into my videos. I love the community that we're building here. If you're passionate about gaming, content, media, and discussing philosophical ideas around life and technology, then you've come to the right place. Do subscribe, and if you like early day one reviews or retrospective gaming content, then this channel will feel like a second home to you. So become a wise one and subscribe.
I don't know, man. You've been seeming sus lately.
So I will now talk about the positives and the negatives of this Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth review, because this game is the next in the series. You know, it's not like a spin-off, this is the next big release, and not only is it the next big release, this is the biggest game in the entire franchise. So for fans of this franchise, this will keep you busy, because it's not just filled with mini games, it's basically got many different games built inside one game. Believe it or not, there's actually an Animal Crossing type mini game within this Yakuza, or should I say Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth title, which is pretty insane to me, and I just love the fact that they've gone absolutely insane with it. There's even like a Pokemon mini game, there's lots of new added mini games, and we're going to discuss all of that without going into spoiler territory, because yes, this is an early review, so I can only talk about what has been shown off as of, you know, early content. So I hope you understand, and I do hope you enjoy this video. And the final quick shilling before we get into this, do consider checking out my music on Spotify, because I'm sure you will like it. Just give it a listen. If you like the soundtrack from Cyberpunk 2077, then yes, you will like what I make.
If you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Now that I'm living in Japan, I wish if only Japan was as hentai as Like a Dragon depicts it to be, because this culture, let me tell you boys, I honestly think when I look at the salarymen on the train going back and forth to work, this is actually what they're thinking about. This is the Japanese mindset, literally insanity. Playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth truly does feel like you have entered the next dimension, that you have finally become one with Joe Rogan and DMT, because this experience is insanity. After playing this game and trying to describe it to someone else, you might actually have a conversation similar to this.
So have you ever done DMT?
My first positive for this Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth review, I would say has to be the combat, okay? Now, older fans of the series will know that combat has changed over time. It used to be very visceral and almost something out of like Street Fighter and Tekken, okay, where it's real time, you know, fast paced combat, hand to hand, using, you know, actual items in your inventory and stuff like that, or picking up stuff from the world, all that kind of stuff. And it was very fun, but it has turned to a turn-based combat system, and if you don't like that, then you will not like it in this one, because it hasn't changed much. But now the, you know, tag team kind of combos that you can do is much more easier to access, and there are just so much more cool moves to pull off, you know, these special attacks with some bombastic Naruto on steroids type cinematics and animations on offer here with the special attacks. But I do like the fact that this isn't a traditional turn-based RPG, okay? It does mix it up a little bit, and I think we haven't really seen many games do this, which I do like. So you can actually go back to the real-time combat with a certain character and in special circumstances, but it's not an option that you can switch. And I wish it was. I wish it did give you the flexibility to choose which combat style you like the most, but sadly it is mostly turn-based for the majority of the game. So if you don't like that, then let that be known. But there are times when real-time combat actually takes place, and now with the real-time combat system, there's basically a wide, you know, radius in which you can actually move around and, you know, change your location of attack, because this actually will depend on how much damage you give the enemy. If you're giving them that behind action, you know, it's gonna take some damage. Also, you have special perfect attacks, which are nice, but the cool addition here is the instant takedown, okay? And that is with this new addition called Smackdown, where you can basically one-shot enemies for people who don't like to play games that well, okay? But it is a nice addition, and it does make you feel like a badass, and this is set a lot later compared to the other games, so it does, you know, complete that kind of character progression arc. The storyline here is, of course, great. It picks up from the previous game. There's a lot of time that's passed. There's a lot more family kind of drama that it delves into, and it does get even emotional at times, but most of the time it is still just a meme, crazy, you know, funny game to play. So it does have its serious moments, but it does look to be mostly just wackiness. One thing that I really love is the mini games, okay? This is where this game absolutely shines. So if you remember Crazy Taxi from the good old days, well, they basically have Crazy Taxi in this game. Basically, you can be an Uber Eats delivery man, and as someone who actually used to do that job, let me tell you, it gets it 100% accurate. The only thing that it doesn't get accurate is customers screaming at you, chucking food from their high balcony windows, demanding you to come up to serve to them on a golden platter. Yes, being a delivery man truly is the best gig economy job out there. And I just love the fact that they have that type of experience in the game. They have so many mini games in this, beyond any of the other games. And the fact that this is the biggest map, I would say that is a slight negative, because there is so much to do and it is so dense with content, okay? Content, that type of content. Yes, there's so much to see, so much to do. I do like the fact that the enemies won't aggro as much now, so getting around the city, you can actually use a little scooter, and enemies won't aggro as much. So compared to the other games, when exploring and going to these different side quests and different mini games, it would sometimes be a bit annoying. Now you can avoid, you know, combat if that isn't the thing that you love most about this game, and that's understandable, because I think what's really the main seller of Infinite Wealth is the fact that the mini games are just so much fun, okay? And there are so many mini games this time around. You can go swimming, fishing, you can, you know, play around with you know, I already mentioned the fact that you can now basically do Crazy Taxi within this game, but another cool addition is the fact that, yes, Animal Crossing is basically in this game. So you have to go to this little island, and you get there on a magical dolphin. I mean, it doesn't get more like a dragon than that, okay? But basically, you have to build up this resort, okay? So it's covered in garbage. You will have to, you know, fight off these kind of homeless people that come to the island, and other gang members and stuff like that. But eventually you will be tidying up this island, cleaning up the trash, adding to the island by going into a building mode and actually customizing your own personal home and actual different locations and buildings and stuff like that. There's a lot to this game, so it's literally insanity how much they crammed into this. And now we also get new job vocations, which add to the combat. So we have stuff like the samurai, the desperado, and even magic abilities for female characters, or they can even be cute little maids and use their cleaning gadgets as weapons, which is pretty hilarious. So the different combat options do keep it feeling fresh, especially, you know, switching and controlling different characters within combat. It's just so insane. You know, I think this is the most insane Like a Dragon game that we've gotten pretty much ever, and the fact that it takes place and the fact that it's not in Japan, they just went full insanity with it, full satire, and I think that's a good time. But the big pull of this game is of course the mini games. So things like building up a resort, going swimming, playing arcade games, you know, all of this kind of stuff, that will keep you entertained for hours and hours. But now there's even more random kind of side quest and characters to meet. There's new characters to meet. American girls be warned, because these Japanese guys do not play around, and yeah, it's just complete insanity, which I love. There are just so many things to do. The graphics look great, the sound design is better than ever, the voice acting is also top notch. Of course, do play it in Japanese, it's much better. And I just love the fact that there are so many different activities to pull off, and I think it is a good time for the fans of the series. If you've never played a game like this, then I think it is quite hard to get into, because you will not know really what's going on. But at the same time, the story does kind of reset itself for new players, but it's just a fun time. That's all I can really say. I wish the combat was balanced a lot better, and it gave you more options with how you wanted to play. That would make the game far more interesting, but those are the only two slight negatives, I would say. And it loses a little bit of its charm because it's not set in Japan anymore, but honestly, that's quite refreshing. So that is my Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth review. I do hope you enjoyed this review of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and I do hope that this video helped answer, is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth worth it? Should you buy Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth? And I'll be seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Make sure that you do leave a like on this video, because that does help. Please do subscribe, because we're getting so close to 10k, and building up this community means absolutely everything to me. It's what I've put all of my time into, and I would really appreciate to have you join this fantastic community. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.